Detecting additional hostile contacts. Incoming hostiles detected.
Hey everyone, this is Wrecker. Welcome back to another Revision 2 build video. So the build that we have today is a real special one because with this setup you can basically one tap anything unless of course someone is wearing a helmet. But yes, I personally think it's pretty much broken, but then again it's way too much fun to ignore, so why not just use it while we can. So it's basically a marksman rifle build. I personally use it whenever I need to gain shade levels. For example, the new season came out. So for that, I just put on 5 directives on heroic, and with this setup, you can easily gain shade levels like 1 level in less than a minute with this particular setup, because with this build the directives, any 5 of them, they won't affect you at all. So being that said, let's begin. So starting off with the specialization, I'm using the sharpshooter. Goes without saying because that's the best specialization when it comes to rifles, and especially marksman rifles. It gives you, weapon handling and a bunch of other perks that really help out the or any marksman rifle build for that reason. Now for the weapons, honestly, it doesn't even matter. With this setup, any marksman rifle that you choose to use will work, because as you can see in my case, I'm using a marksman rifle which I can almost guarantee you that no one is using this weapon. Like, it's so trash. I mean, not anymore, but I don't think anyone is using this particular weapon. The SRSA-1. I wouldn't even touch this weapon otherwise, because it doesn't do anything. It's a bad marksman rifle to use in general. But with the introduction of the new talent Determined, and in combination with this setup that we're running, any marksman rifle is just godly, not even kidding. So as you can see, I just grabbed it. The only reason being for this particular one is because it's fast, with a tiny bit of weapon handling that we have on this build. It's very easy to reload. It doesn't have any recoil. And also it one taps anything, even named enemies. Even though it's not the hardest hitting sniper rifle, you will see people using like the White Death. That's the most popular one right now with any sniper or one-shot build. But the point I'm trying to make is that doesn't even matter. I think this sniper rifle that I'm using is like half the damage than White Death, but it still works. It doesn't even matter. So anyhow, so as you can see, basic roles, marksman rifle, headshot damage, and damage targets out of cover. And then we have or what I call the broken talent, but we won't go there. It's fun, so let's use it while we can. It's called Determined. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. Now this first part of the talent is working as it's stated. The bottom part, I think they said in their board, in the Trello board, that they're gonna fix it because it's not accurate. It says while the talent is active, killing an enemy will not re-trigger the talent. That's inaccurate because it does re-trigger. It will give you the unstoppable chain killing body shots, which will be registered at headshots. So basically take one headshot and then afterwards you can go on an infinite chain of body shots and one tap everything. You can just tap any enemy in the toe, it will still die. But then again, if someone is wearing a helmet, like for example the high nut chick with the baton, for some reason her helmet has a huge chunk of health. I even tried, one-shotting her with the TAC 50, but that doesn't work. Anyhow, so that's the primary weapon that I'm using with the talent determined. The secondary weapon, that doesn't matter, you can use anything you have. I personally am using Scorpio because you wouldn't even have to use it, but in case, any enemy gets too close to you or something, you can just use your Scorpio. That's the best shotgun in game right now. Okay, so starting off with the mask, I'm using 4-piece HOTSHOT. Now this is the gear set that we're using for this setup. Because it synergizes very well with the whole build, that one-shotting thing. This works incredibly well. I was using previously the Aces and 8, but this thing just boosts your damage, and it's insanely good, is what I'm trying to say. So the 2-piece gives you 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling. 3-piece gives you 30% headshot damage. And then we have the 4-piece, the main talent for the gear set. It's called Headache. First headshot with the MR will increase next headshot by 20%. Second headshot with the same weapon will give you an additional 10% armor. If you had full armor, it will give you a bonus armor 50% for current armor. Third consecutive headshot will refill magazine. Now, this thing works very well and very easy to keep up this buff, because the only thing that can disable this particular buff for this gear set is that if you miss the shot, or if you don't take another headshot, which won't be possible for in our setup in this case, because determined keep registering headshots as body shots at headshots, so it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to focus, on what this thing is saying. You will keep these buffs, all of them, active at all times. You just have to get one headshot kill and that's it. You're good. At the bottom it says, from the 4th headshot forward, agents will get all 3 bonuses for each consecutive headshot kill. Missing a headshot will reset the cycle. This thing, that doesn't even happen. Ever. To me at least. You keep getting headshots. The only time again that you won't get a headshot is when someone is wearing a helmet, but that's it. You take another shot, the enemy is dead, and the buff gets back. So it's really good. Just try it out. And also when it comes to using all directives, especially the ammo directive, that's very beneficial with this gear set, because as you can see, it says here that it will refill your mag, so you don't even have to reload or get more ammo for your weapon that you're using. It will keep resetting your magazine, so no reloads at all, as long as you're getting headshots. So for the mask, I'm using weapon damage, headshot damage, and a headshot damage mod. Same thing for the gloves. Just stack headshot damage on all 4 pieces and you're good to go. Again, same thing for the knee pads, headshot damage, weapon damage. And lastly, same thing for the holster, headshot damage, weapon damage, and we're good to go. Okay, so for the backpack, we're using the Memento. No brainer, that's the best backpack in slot, especially if you're running solo. Use this backpack, do not use anything else. It's the best backpack for the damage, for the armor regen, for the skill efficiency, what have you. It works perfectly well. Once you have 30 stacks, you will be hitting huge numbers, especially when you want to take out enemies in one shot. You do need a bunch of damage without getting the buff going away. So let's say, for example, you're using vigilance or anything. If you get hit, it will go away. So that's not efficient at all. For me, at least, it's not. So also, I do not play in cover. I keep running around, and with 5 directives active, you are gonna need some survivability. You will need it. I can assure you. So this is the best backpack you should go with this particular setup. So again, I'm using a headshot mod on the mod slot on the backpack. Okay, so the last piece for the build, we are using the Walker and Harris named chest piece that's called the Chen Killer. Obvious reason for the talent that's called Perfect Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. So you take one headshot and the next shot will be boosted by this buff. So the bottom part says damage is capped at 800% of your weapon damage. This is raised to 1250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150, which on our case it's way up there. It's way up than 800% for sure. So this is the last piece again. Weapon damage, headshot damage, and for the extra attribute I rolled on weapon handling, because yes, you need that. You don't need crit chance, crit damage. Just go with weapon handling and headshot damage and you're golden. Okay, so I will go through the skills real quick. It's actually personal preference. You don't really need to have the skills that I'm using. But then again, for my playstyle, these are the best skills I can use whenever I need to. So the first one is the decoy. In case there are too much enemies or you want to bolt from a tacky situation, just deploy the decoy and it will save your life if you need to. The second skill that I'm using, that's the Bulwark Shield. Again, I don't really use it, but then again, it's just for the backup. If some enemy gets too close to you, you're about to die or anything, it's just for the backup that you pull up your Bulwark Shield and it will save your character from dying. Okay, so before I give you the last overview for the whole build, let me show you the stats that we're running. The marksman rifle that I am using in this setup, it is on 256% headshot damage. Scorpio, that's running 175. You don't even need that on that. My pistol, that's 230%, and the TAC 50, the spec weapon, I'm sitting at 330% headshot damage. So that's insanely good, especially if you're using Headhunter to gain the best amount of damage that you can. Okay, so this is the build, everyone. As you saw in the intro, it can one-tap anything and everything. I would highly recommend this particular setup to use if you're trying to gain shade levels as fast as possible. I can easily, with this setup, I can easily gain one shade level in less than a minute on heroic 5 directives. I will add a bit of more gameplay at the end of the video, so you do check it out to see how well this build performs. So until then, I will see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the like on this video, and presently I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and enjoy. I will see you in the next one.
Tango built that one. Moving with you. Weapons free. Weapons free.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Access key detected.
Engaging the enemy. Putting down a decoy.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Access key detected.
Target identified. Stand there and take.
detected.
How'd you get here?